Check out this site for the cheapest credits in Forza Horizon 4. More information in the description. What's going on, guys? It's MitchCactus here, coming back with another Forza Horizon 4 video, and as you can see by the title, today's video is going to be covering the top 10 best car designs in Forza Horizon 4, and this might actually be a series that I might eventually start, and if this video does well, let's try and smash 100 likes. If we can get 100 likes, I actually will start into it, do some of these design series, and maybe for each manufacturer, for each of the mainstream manufacturers that are known for making hypercars or sports cars like Ferrari, Pagani, Koenigsegg, Lamborghini, and maybe even McLaren car manufacturers or car companies like that. Might do some separate top 10 best car designs for each one of those, and just letting you know, this video only contains one of each car, because otherwise it would probably be more like top 10 or top 100 designs. Sorry for that Discord notification, guys. That was mine. And on the topic of Discord notification, feel free to join my Discord. It will be in the description in the social media portion. So Discord is essentially where you can communicate or contact me, guys. It's where you can ask me any questions or inquiries, or essentially be able to talk with me, or offer me anything, or play with me, make a video with me, anything, guys. And of course, as I was about to say, I'm only going to feature one design on each car, and of course these are my subjective opinions. Obviously they're not all going to be catered to your personal taste. This is just my inspiration of people who might have just been starting out the game and might like a few of these, and that's all I'm hoping for, that you guys like one or two of these and I'd be satisfied. As you can see in the front before the video side, I'm actually sponsored by u4n.com. If you use code Mitch on their site, it will not only support me, it will also support you, as for each dollar you spend, just $1, you'll get around 11 million credits, guys. That means if you spend $5 on their site, you'll get a total of 55 million credits. So you wouldn't have to sit there grinding races for hours on end just to afford $1 million car. You can buy any cars you want and skip the grind and actually start enjoying the fun parts of the game, which is upgrading, tuning, and driving your favorite cars. So now, guys, I'm actually going to get onto the main portion of the video, and these are my top 10 favorite designs in Forza Horizon 4. I'm going to be picking out each aspect of these cars that I like the most, and I also have the number one design, guys, so you're going to be able to see at the end of the video as a little surprise. And yeah, basically stay tuned for the end of the video, as it's going to be something pretty cool that I'm sure none of you would have actually ever seen before, and it's a pretty cool design in my personal opinion. So guys, that's going to be about it here. Now I'm going to start the video. So guys, coming into 10th place with my one of my favorite designs is actually on this OG Nissan Skyline, with of course the body kit, and as you can see with some gameplay, I think the blue and the white looks really good when it reflects with each other. And of course this is a Forza edition car that is actually extremely effective for S2 ranked racing class. It is one of the best cars when it comes to ranked racing, and I definitely think using this design will definitely be able to show that you are clearly alpha male of the race. It's pretty sick design. It's a reasonably popular design, so it's quite mainstream. I'm sure a lot of you would like it, and I probably, as you can see when I do this drift, you can actually see the complete side of it. It's like basically the equivalent of a NASCAR type design, and it's a pretty cool car, and it definitely would deserve the number 10 spot. And of course, some of this is my subjective opinion, but I think this is a pretty cool car when it comes to how cheap of a car it is, considering it's a Forza edition car. Next, in 9th place, we actually have the new Corvette, and of course this is pretty cool design. It's a recently new car. This car did come in the car pass, a lot of you would know it. Of course, it being an American car, it's got that the iconic design on the outside. It's a bit more futuristic, with this being an actual default spoiler. Looks pretty sick, and of course with the same sort of NASCAR type Chevrolet design. So it's a pretty sick car, this one, especially with the extra design on it. Looks pretty cool, and I think the color scheme definitely actually matches the outline of the car. Of course, it does have the number of the car as if it was in an actual race. This car isn't so good when it comes to actually being competitively used, unlike the previous Nissan, but it's definitely still a cool car when it comes to overall aesthetics and cosmetically pleasing aspects. Coming in an 8th car, in my opinion, is of course going to actually be the LaFerrari, and as you can see, this design is very different to a normal LaFerrari design that you expect. Normal LaFerraris certainly come in red, quite quite often yellow and sometimes the occasional white one or black, and you definitely don't actually see the white with this kind of complement or anything. It's obviously of course going to be the equivalent of a livery or a livery, and you definitely would never see a car like this commonly, even in Forza Horizon 4, let alone real life. It's not so much a NASCAR type car vinyl, it's more of just overall added color to it to actually make the white look a bit less basic and less plain, and it actually looks pretty cool in my opinion. So when it comes to LaFerrari, the only design that would actually match this, I think, is the one with all the sponsorships on it, and it'll actually be a car on this that has the exact same vinyl except on a different car, and I will show that. But this is probably one of the best designs that fits a LaFerrari the best, and that's why I like it so much. Coming in at 6th, the best car design is the Ferrari 458 Speciale, and as you can see, the Speciale, however you pronounce it, and as you can see, it's got the Vodafone overall vinyl. It's got the red and white. It's a pretty cool color scheme because normally this car does come in red, of course, but it has the complement on the complemented white going down the back and towards the sides and sort of towards the front, but not quite onto the front bumper. And it's a pretty cool design. Of course, the sponsorships do fit it. Of course, this is a Marlboro type sponsorship, and of course you can't actually legally you can't sponsor cars with Marlboro or cigarette brands anymore when it comes to competitive racing. So this is more of an OG type vinyl, and it's as you guys can see on screen now, we're actually going to be going onto the 6th car, and this of course is going to be the Ford GT. And as you can see, I actually mistaken the Ferrari and said it was the 6th car. This is actually the 6th car, guys. This is the Ford GT EcoBoost type design. I'm sure a lot of you would be familiar with this from if you played Forza Horizon 3, as this was actually a car that was quite commonly used because the Ford GT was very prevalent in Forza Horizon 3, not so much anymore, but of course it was a pretty cool design back then, and I still think it kind of through and fits among the majority of cars in Forza Horizon 4, as the Ford GT is pretty underrated in this game, so to come through with a pretty cool design really complements the car overall. And of course the interior, not that you can change it, is pretty cool, especially the steering wheel and how the RPM is monitored on the steering wheel is a pretty cool addition. Now coming on to 5th, we actually do have the Lamborghini Centenario, and as you can see, this is type a Hoonigan type design. This is something that is quite simple, the black and yellow, but of course complemented with all the designs, everything that's on it, the things that outlines the specific aerodynamics in the spoiler, the overlaying paint on the spoiler makes it look pretty cool regardless of whether the spoiler is up or down. Of course, with the yellow tint makes it look pretty cool from an interior perspective, and complement with the car, this car is actually extremely effective when it comes to all types of road or ranked racing. It's a pretty cool overall car design with the Hoonigan type design. Even though it's not a Hoonigan car, it has those Hoonigan type designs, because I know a lot of people like the Hoonigan car designs, so to have this car showing them off is pretty cool in my opinion. Now on to 4th, we actually have the Mercedes AMG CLK GTR, and I know a lot of people actually are very fond with this car, and actually has become quite relevant and joined into the meta when it comes to S2 class racing and ranked racing. So this car has extremely good handling, extremely good top speed, so if you're going to be using a car like this competitively, you need a competitive livery, and this is where this one comes into play. This overall, with all the vinyls that are on this, makes it look like quite a cool race car. It's a bit too futuristic for the interior, but aside from that, the overall, all the sponsorships on this make it look pretty cool, and this is quite a mainstream livery when it comes to the AMG CLK GTR, but aside from that, it's still an overall pretty cool design, and I didn't really show too much of the front other than the initial photo, but it's pretty cool even from the back. So now I'm going to be going on to the 3rd, and for one of the last cars I'm going to be showing, guys, and that's actually going to be the Subaru. It's essentially Toyota A6, but it's also the Subaru BRZ or BRZ, and this of course is the iconic DJS or Don Juan song, or I don't know if I pronounced that right, but Don Juan song. This is the design that he made, one of the most downloaded designs, if not the most downloaded design by far for this car. And this car being so affordable, it's very easy to warrant a high amount of votes or likes or downloads on this design. And its design is pretty simplistic, but it's very cool. And he obviously does, I think he does use some of the overlay for some of his videos. And I think it's pretty cool and creative design that he made when the game was just in its early stages. So now onto the second one is going to be the McLaren 650S, and I'm sure a lot of you might not think this should be the second one. I think this is just a tribute to the McLaren P1 GTR, because the McLaren P1 GTR has this livery, and a lot of you would know about that. This is actually a remake of that. It's very subtle, it's not got a whole lot of designs on it, but I think it's still pretty cool and simplistic. It's not just a normal orange or a normal yellow, this is straight up with a yellow and green, and sorry for the bit of lag stutters on screen right now, but aside from that, you can still clearly see the skin, and I think it's pretty cool. Coming in at first place, we actually have the Moschler M900G or M900S, and since so many people are using this, I figured I may as well show you guys. This is my design, youtube.com/MitchCactus, showing all over it. And if you guys want to download the design, search MitchCactus in the community and you'll be able to actually download it. It's pretty cool. It says Mitch, this is Mitch on it. It's a pretty decent design. I mostly just made it for a meme, so don't take it that seriously, but it's still a pretty good design overall. But guys, those are 10 cars. Sorry for the lag status here, it shouldn't be too much more in the video. But guys, those are the 10 best cars in my opinion when it comes to the overall designs in Forza Horizon 4. I hope you do like the designs that I showed, as they obviously were my subjective opinion, but I still think they're pretty cool, and a lot of you will get some influence or idea of what do the skins look like in Forza Horizon 4 if you're yet to really dive into that sector or portion of the game. So guys, I'm not going to go too much more into detail on those. That's going to be about it for this video. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe and like the video. Use my code Mitch at uforrender.com for 5% off, and also make sure to join the Discord. That's going to be about it, guys. Thank you for watching.